Welcome to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and each week I will be talking with head coach Teresa Lentz from the Calallen Wildcats softball team. We will jump in right after these messages. We definitely want to thank our title sponsor, Shocker Wildlife Resources. Yes, Anthony Trevino at Shocker Wildlife, they do it all. Ranch and wildlife management. They do helicopter surveys, harvest data management, wildlife management plans, water distribution, prescribed burns, consulting, feeding programs. If you have a ranch, you need Shocker Wildlife Resources as your consultant. You can reach them by reaching out to Anthony Trevino, 361-850-0609. Yes, call Anthony Trevino at 361-850-0609. If you have a ranch, you definitely need to know Anthony. We also need to thank Downtime Services. Downtime Services offers specialized on-site field machining services that maximize your uptime without sacrificing quality. Their team of expert field machining services technicians will come to you and repair and modify your equipment on-site and on demand. Downtime Services, whatever you need, whenever you need. Find Downtime Services online at downtimeservices.com or call them at 800-900-1256. All right, everybody join me in welcoming Coach Teresa Lentz from the Calallen Wildcat softball team. Coach, first off, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me again.
Excellent. Well, let's first talk about Victoria East because you played them last year. It's one of the few teams that you're repeating from last year. And, again, a good offensive showing, 16-7, but you gave up a lot more runs this year than you did against them last year.
Yes, they were a good athletic team. If you were to see them, you definitely think like, oh man, like there's some athletes. I mean, they're fast. The routine plays. Their pitchers, they're not terrible. They're doing their job. They're mixing it up, and their hitters were, they were swinging, and they had some pretty good swings. I thought our pitchers showed some things that were good, working on some stuff, and pitching wise, I thought that's promising for where we want them to go. But gotta learn the lesson, to be able to, do what we need to do, maybe hit our spots a little bit better. And, and it happens. The wind was blowing out and they had some good swings. So hats off to them for taking advantage of it.
Definitely. And if you could talk to me about some of the girls and their performances, because the 16-7, definitely something went right.
Yeah, no, and I would credit our girls to hitting the ball really, really hard. Yeah. So, I mean, they came out on top. I want to say in the first inning was like 3-0, but, our girls answered back soon. I don't know if it was that first inning or that second inning, and, it was pretty fun to watch. And Brooke Metter had 2 home runs for us.
Wow.
The girls were aggressive on the bases. I mean, super aggressive on the bases. They looked really good and really fast. Still, I think we need to work on our turns a little bit better. But, for the most part, our girls were coming out ready to go. And even defensively, Kiana Vargas at third base just looked solid and handling, all the hot corner with all the hard hits that were hit to her. Diving grab with her face mask, pops up with her face mask like halfway off her face, throws the bullet across the diamond and gets her out. And I was just like, I was going crazy. It was so awesome.
I love that.
As I've seen. And so it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and the girls were doing good.
So Coach, like I said, there were a lot of balls in play. Talk about the outfield. How did they respond to that?
I thought they did a very good job. We have a brand new fence, and so we've been working on how the ball plays off the fence or how it doesn't play off the fence. And these girls, They were covering ground all over the place. The wind was blowing, but that didn't really make a difference. And it's kind of tricky with the way our pitchers pitch. They can jam you, they can not. They've got to be ready for getting little bloops, or and if the harder you throw it, the harder it goes. And so, a credit to our outfield for covering ground. I think we had our center fielder had Kylie Butcher had a great play. She was covering some ground. We had Chris Leal in left field. She was covering some ground. Doing exactly what we needed them to do, and they make it look routine. They're so fast. They're right there. Balls hit, it's a shot. These girls were hitting good last night. And boom, there's our outfield right there to be right where they need to be. And then we had our right fielder Kaden Trevino, who had a great hit off the wall. And she was on the bases. Later on at third, I think she was going from third to home, or from second to home, and there was a play at the plate, and it was an obstruction, but she went head first, and she kind of messed up her finger and wrist. Really hurts us a little bit. We don't really want her out. Hopefully she gets some good news from the doctor today. And she had to sit out, and we had Candace Esquivel had to go in right field, and freshman, super athletic, goes out there and does what she needs to do. Balls hit to her, and kind of little on the line. She covers some ground and she gets to it. And so, just super proud of them, because we have 2 new outfielders out there, and after Caden left, that was 3 new outfielders, and just doing what they need to do and making things look routine. So pretty awesome.
I love it.
It was a long game. It was the first time we'd played 7 innings, so that was an adjustment, but something that we need to get ready for and get prepared for. So we're about to have some long days and long weekends at these tournaments. Yeah. So we've got to get our minds right, being able to have that softball endurance, throughout the day, and keeping our heads, being able to stay in the game longer, so we're not having these highs and lows in our games.
Sure. And you mentioned you've got some tough matches coming up. Let me ask you about this, because some coaches with their pre-district will book teams that they know they can beat to build some confidence. A 2-time defending state championship team doesn't need necessarily a lot of confidence builders. And looking at this lineup, it's looked like, you're not interested in confidence. You're interested in, let's play against some of the best.
Right. No, I would say I look at it as preparation, and in a way where you play the best of the best. You can look at yourselves almost like in the mirror and be like, okay, I did this right, I did this wrong. What can we do to fix? But also take confidence away from this. You play a tough team, you do something good against a tough team, and you can be like, okay, you feel good about yourself in that area, and take confidence away from that in the good parts. And then, of course, in the areas that maybe you didn't do so well, then you can go back, to practice and be like, okay, let's work on X, Y, and Z. I really just like, challenging our girls. All the girls we've ever had, is just always challenging them to try to push them to be their best. And I'll be honest, losing and failure is the best way to get better.
Caliber Collision understands how much you depend on your vehicle. Let their repair experts help you get back to what's most important. Caliber Collision and Caliber Auto Glass specialize in happy customers, expert repairs, and most importantly, restoring the rhythm of your life. That's Caliber Collision. You can find them at caliber.com.
If you're not failure, if you're not challenging yourself, then you're not improving. So if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And I truly believe that. And so it doesn't, I think our girls kind of know what's ahead of them. And maybe they don't to a degree. Maybe it's a little beyond their mind, but that's okay. It really doesn't matter. And it's just about handling it, how we handle it. It might be pretty, it might be ugly, I don't know, but we've got to figure it out. And if we can get through this tournament schedule, as hard as it is, then I think we'll be better for it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this lineup, and I'm seeing a couple of runner-ups from last year, seeing a state champion. But even the first game tomorrow with Veterans Memorial, you know, they haven't lost, so they're a good team that went pretty far last year too.
Yes, no, and Corpus Christi Vets is, you know, one of the best teams here in Corpus. We faced them in a scrimmage earlier a couple weeks ago, and we tied with them. So, you know, we want to not finish on a tie, and I know our girls are hungry to come ready to play them. And then boom, we got Liberty right. You know, so it's going to be a lot mentally, you know, and that's the big part. I hope we're handling these games mentally, because we're going to have to, you know, move on real quick and have this mental endurance to be able to get through. And then that's what I love about this. It's going to really challenge us, see if we can stick together. I mean, I think the key is for us to just stick together, play as a team, make the routine plays, have some quality at execute when we need to, and see what happens. And the most important thing is that we never give up, that we fight, and that we're playing the game right, and you know, just having, you know, just giving it all we have, and don't play scared.
Yeah, and if you could, for people who don't know, maybe they're new to following the team, maybe they've just stumbled upon, oh, wow, there's a softball podcast. Explain the relationship between Calallen and Liberty, because, you know, this is like two heavyweight boxers.
Oh, gosh, that's a loaded question. So we're Calallen softball, first year to go to state was in 2019. We were 5A. We played the Colony and we played Angleton in 2019, and the Angleton in the championship game beat us. Our second time going to state was in 2021, and we were in 4A now. We faced Liberty for the championship game. They beat us in 2021. We got second in 2021 to Liberty. We did not make it in 2022 back to state. In 2023, we made it back to state. Liberty had already won 2021 against us, 2022 against, I can't remember. And then 2023, they're trying to three-peat against us in 2023. Talk about pressure. And, you know, we beat them. Okay, so now we're 1-1. And then last year we faced them again, and then we beat them to go back-to-back. We will not face Liberty again this year for a state championship run after this, because we are now divided into big school, small school. And they are a small school. They do not have enough girls, I don't believe, in their district to be considered a big school. So we will not face them. They could definitely go to state, but they will be in the small school. And if we were to go to state, we would be in the big school. So this is basically bragging rights. And I know that's something that they want. I imagine very bad, and you know, our girls do too. It's something that we want to make sure we're ready for and give it our best. But you know, they're a very, very talented team. Great coach, great program, great history. I want to say they've won 3 state titles there. I could be wrong. I think they won it back in 2018 or 2018 or 19. So they're a quality program, and really excited to have them come down here. So it's going to be pretty fun tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And then if you could run through some of the other teams you're going to play against, and why, you know, it won't be a disaster if you don't run through all of these undefeated.
Yeah. And so, so on that Friday we're playing Vets, like you said, and then Liberty at 5:30. And on Friday we're playing, Thursday we're playing Vets and Liberty. And then on Friday we're playing Santa Gertrudis, SGA, at 1:00. And then right after that we'll be playing Westlaco at 5:00. And SGA has been to state multiple times. They're a 3A school, but they're in our area, and they're a very, very talented team. Always well coached with Coach Thomas De Los Santos. And so they're are always doing and playing the game right. And they hustle, they pitch it right, they hit it right, they execute, they have quality defense. So there's nothing that you can't really do wrong without them taking advantage of. And then we're playing Westlaco at 5. They're coming to our tournament. Westlaco was a team that had that walk-off Grand Slam to beat, I want to say, Midway Waco. I could be wrong. But it was a great team, and they beat them in the 6A state championship to have that title. And they're coming to our tournament, and we couldn't be more excited to play them as well. And then on Saturday we have Salado, I don't think they're still in the region of Liberty, but they won't play them anymore. And they lost to Liberty last year. I want to say the 2 rounds before state to go to state. And so they're a very tough school, and I think they're going to be even better this year from what I hear. And then the last game on Saturday that we face at 3:00 is Harlingen South, and they were the state runner-up, 5A state runner-up last year. And so I think one of their best players is going to Washington, and she's a heck of a player, an amazing kid. So, there's just tons and tons of great softball here in the Tulsa Bend, and we're excited to have them all be here, and I'm excited to not have to travel very far to do it. So this is pretty good.
I would imagine there's going to be several scouts at this tournament because there's so much talent on the field.
I mean, if they probably not with the technology these days with every which way they don't have to travel, but I think people are definitely going to be watching and seeing how we do for sure.
Definitely. So what's the focus, with the girls between now and then? Obviously, y'all will just be going back to back to back games, so there's not a whole lot of time to work on that other stuff. But what's the focus for you?
For us, trying to make sure that we get our bunt coverages and our first and thirds, and just knitting up some of the stuff that we need to knit up and work on before tournaments this early in the season. Just getting the girls the reps they need, getting them some more reps with Coach Bassina, pitching to them, throwing some gas at them, so they're seeing, pitches come really fast. I mean, just so when they do face that pitcher that's throwing heat, it ain't gonna look like she's throwing that much heat. So that's like our advantage is we're able to have Coach Bassina, have a really good, pregame pitching, batting practice, BP when you former college pitcher pitching and she's throwing it from like 30, 35 feet away. So it's pretty awesome. Gives us an advantage, and it gives our girls an advantage. Want to help them get confident and feel comfortable for what we're about to experience here this weekend. So it should be fun.
Yeah, definitely. And just a little programming note for the audience. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be doing the show here on Wednesdays, and then after that, we'll shift to Fridays, just because of things like these tournaments. Cool. So, Coach, best of luck in the Wildcat Classic, and I look forward to talking about some great scores at this time next week.
Yes. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chris.
Hey, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. Please share, subscribe, get the story out about this amazing program, these amazing girls, and don't forget to go out, fill the stands, and support your Calallen Wildcats. Hey coaches, did you know we're now offering shows for all sports? That's right, whether it's basketball, volleyball, softball, baseball, football, soccer, you name it, we've got you covered. If you're looking for a way to showcase your program, promote your players, and highlight the amazing things happening with your team, our coaches shows are the perfect solution. Plus, our business model lets you or your booster club raise money while building excitement and support for your program. Don't miss the opportunity to take your team's story to the next level. Find out how you can get your very own Coaches Show. Reach out to Chris at 713-269-4620 today. That's 713-269-4620 because every team deserves the spotlight.